We often walk through life with this comfortable, almost unquestioning illusion that reality is stable, fixed, and uh, obedient to a set of immutable laws.
Right, like gravity, the
Hmm.
sun rising,
Yeah.
the basics we learn.
Exactly. We wake up, the sun rises, gravity keeps our feet on the ground, and we just accept it as the absolute unchanging given. But what if that's only a partial narrative?
Hmm.
What if what you perceive as solid and unchanging is actually just one frequency among many, like a kind of default channel your consciousness is currently tuned into?
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
And what if there's a whole other layer of existence, a dynamic, vibrant, vibrational field operating quietly beneath the surface, constantly shaping everything you experience?
Everything, like relationships, opportunities.
Everything, from your relationships to your opportunities.
Yeah.
What if there's a profound hidden knowledge about how reality truly works, a mechanism they perhaps never wanted you to fully understand?
That sounds intriguing.
Well, maybe the old structures, the old ways of thinking, because grasping it shifts the very locus of power from external forces back to you.
Ah, okay. Empowerment through understanding.
Today, right here on The Deep Dive, we're taking a journey into something that might profoundly reframe your entire understanding of life itself. The transition from what's commonly called the third dimension to the fifth dimension. Now, before your imagination launches into sci-fi movie scenes with spaceships, wormholes, or crossing celestial portals to new planets.
Yeah, gotta manage expectations there. It's not Star Trek.
Right, let's be absolutely clear. This isn't about physical relocation. This isn't about literally stepping onto another plane of existence in some far-off galaxy.
Crucial point.
This is about a profound internal shift in consciousness,
Mhm.
a fundamental mutation, you could say, in the very way you perceive, interact with, and ultimately create your reality.
A mutation in consciousness. I like that.
Our deep dive today will explore materials that suggest a significant portion of humanity is already operating beyond the conventional, fixed parameters of the 3D world.
Already there. Interesting.
And what's even more fascinating and perhaps a little mind-bending is that you, the listener, without even fully realizing it, might already be tapping into this higher frequency yourself.
Experiencing glimpses, maybe.
Exactly, experiencing glimpses of a reality that operates by entirely different rules. We're going to explore how that happens, what it feels like, and what it fundamentally means for your everyday life.
From attracting jobs to navigating relationships?
Yes, precisely. How it changes everything.
And that precisely is our core mission for you in this deep dive. Think of this as your essential shortcut to understanding a paradigm shift that's not just theoretical, it's actively unfolding around us, within us, right now.
It feels like that sometimes, doesn't it? Something's shifting.
Definitely. Our goal isn't just to tell you about this shift, it's to extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight from the wealth of materials we've gathered.
Cutting through the noise.
Exactly, helping you grasp what our sources refer to as the real mechanism of reality creation, the one that turns intention into event and desire into fact.
Okay, that's a bold claim. Intention into event.
It is. We want to provide those powerful aha moments that clarify complex ideas, but, without overwhelming you with an avalanche of information.
Keep it accessible but deep.
You'll gain knowledge quickly, yes, but also deeply and thoroughly. Understanding how this vibrational reality truly functions and how you can consciously engage with it.
All right, let's dive in. Where do we start?
To truly grasp what we're discussing here, we absolutely need to start by deconstructing the common understanding of the word dimension.
Okay, good point. Because we think length, width, height.
Exactly. For most of us, our foundational understanding comes from school-level physics.
Okay.
A dimension is a spatial coordinate length with height and then time as the fourth.
Useful for, building stuff.
Incredibly useful for building bridges or calculating planetary orbits. But here's where we pivot. That definition becomes entirely insufficient when we begin to explore realities perceived in expanded states of consciousness.
So we need a different definition for this conversation.
Precisely. In spiritual, esoteric, and consciousness-based contexts, and this is truly crucial to our understanding today, a dimension isn't a physical address you can travel to. It's not a destination.
Okay, so not another place.
No. Instead, it's a vibrational pattern of existence. It's fundamentally a state of consciousness, a particular frequency of perception.
A frequency, like a radio station.
That's a great analogy. That frequency utterly determines the quality of the reality that you perceive and experience. Think of it like multiple radio frequencies coexisting in the air right now, all around you.
FM, AM, satellite radio. all there at once.
Exactly. Your car radio, your phone, they're all surrounded by these frequencies. What changes isn't their presence. They're always there, but you're tuning.
Which station you dial into.
Right. If you're tuned to 98.7 FM, that's the station you hear. All the other stations, 102.5, 92.3, even those obscure talk shows, are present, broadcasting.
But invisible if you're not tuned in.
But they remain imperceptible to you until you change your frequency, until you shift your dial. The dimension you experience is simply the frequency your consciousness is currently tuned into.
And that radio analogy really helps frame the distinction, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because for most of us, our daily waking experience is firmly, unequivocally rooted in what our sources call the third dimension, 3D.
The default setting for many.
Yeah, the world we're all so intimately familiar with, where everything seems to be dominated by a deep, almost ingrained perception of separation.
Me versus you. Me versus the world.
Right. There's a clear divide, or so it seems, between the observer and the observed, between you as an individual and everything else out there. Other people, opportunities, objects, your desires.
That feeling of being separate.
And we perceive time in this 3D reality as a relentlessly linear progression. It moves in a single, unwavering direction. Forward. Yesterday, today, tomorrow.
Always chasing the clock.
Always. And there's oft exhausting, almost constant need for effort, for struggle, just to maintain what you have, let alone to achieve anything new.
The grind.
Totally the grind. Our fundamental perception of reality in the third dimension is that matter is undeniably solid. Physical laws are absolute, rigid, and unchangeable.
What you see is what you get. Fixed.
There's a strong belief that the world outside of you is fixed, and you must push against it to get what you want. Your identity and your value for so many are deeply shaped by the ego and by external narratives.
What society says you should be.
Exactly. What your job title is, how much wealth you accumulate, the roles you play. Your worth is frequently measured by your ability to compete, to struggle, to sacrifice, and to accumulate.
Score.
Yeah. The core logic of the third dimension is that everything depends on struggle, on relentless effort, and on patient waiting. It's that pervasive chase after it, grind it out mentality.
That permeates so much of modern culture.
Right. And leaves so many feeling drained and perpetually behind.
What's truly fascinating here, and quite liberating once you begin to grasp it, is how the landscape of the fifth dimension presents a complete departure from those familiar 3D parameters.
Okay, so what does 5D look like? How is it different?
Well, first, in the fifth dimension, that notion of separation that defines 3D existence simply dissolves. It becomes clear not just as an intellectual idea, but as an experienced, undeniable reality.
You actually feel it.
You feel it, that everything that exists is fundamentally interconnected by an invisible, intelligent field of energy. There's no true other in the way we typically conceive of it.
Wow. So interconnectedness is key.
Absolutely. This profound interconnectedness then shifts your fundamental understanding of time itself. It ceases to be a fixed linear line that marches forward.
Okay, so time isn't linear anymore. How does that work?
Instead, time is experienced as a set of coexisting possibilities, a state of profound simultaneity.
Like everything happening at once, in a way.
In a potential sense, yes. This doesn't mean that matter disappears or that physical laws suddenly stop functioning. That's a common misconception.
Right, gravity still works.
Gravity still works. Rather, it means that your interaction with them occurs at a far subtler, more fundamental level. One where consciousness directly and powerfully shapes the course of events.
Consciousness shapes events.
How? In 5D, creation doesn't arise primarily from physical effort or brute force. It manifests, it coalesces into your experience from a sustained vibrational state.
Okay, vibrational state again, explain that.
It's an internal alignment of your thoughts, emotions, and intentions that then magnetizes and pulls the external into form.
So it's like attracting things rather than chasing them.
Precisely. This is a complete reversal of the typical 3D approach, where you often feel like you have to force things into being. In 5D, it's about allowing them to unfold from an inner state.
Allowing. That sounds easier, but maybe harder in practice.
It can be, especially at first. It requires a different kind of focus.
So to reiterate a point that's incredibly fundamentally important, the fifth dimension is not a separate territory in space, somewhere out there you have to travel to.
Not a destination on a map.
No. Or a way for some cosmic event to transport you to. It coexists right now in the very same physical place you are.
Like those radio frequencies.
Exactly like those radio frequencies are all present in the air around you, even if you're only hearing one station.
Yeah.
And our sources powerfully emphasize that you, the listener, without realizing it, already tap into this frequency from time to time.
Those moments of flow or synchronicity.
Yes. Think about those truly effortless moments in your life when everything just seemed to click into place, when opportunities appeared out of nowhere, as if perfectly orchestrated.
Like magic, almost.
Or when you felt a profound, unshakable sense of inner peace and flow, despite external circumstances. Those aren't just random acts of luck. They are genuine, albeit perhaps brief, glimpses of operating in a higher vibrational state.
So you were tuned into 5D for a moment.
You were, in those moments, temporarily tuned to a 5D frequency. The transition, what our sources sometimes refer to as a mutation, isn't just political or technological.
Not a new app or government policy.
No. It's a fundamental, profound change in how you perceive and interact with reality. It's a leap in the quality of consciousness, a radical shift in your internal vibrational state.
And that shift changes everything externally.
It then fundamentally alters how events, relationships, and circumstances spontaneously manifest around you. It's a shift from being a passenger in a fixed reality to becoming a conscious co-creator of a fluid, responsive one.
Co-creator. That's powerful.
Isn't it? It changes the whole game.
Okay, this brings us to the core mechanism of reality creation within the 5D paradigm. And it's a principle that can feel almost revolutionary even, heretical to a mind conditioned by 3D logic.
Heretical. Okay, I'm listening. What is it?
The core concept, the real secret, is this. It is not you who goes after what you desire. It is what you desire that is drawn to you, as long as your internal frequency is compatible.
Whoa. Okay. Read that again.
It is not you who goes after what you desire. It is what you desire that is drawn to you, as long as your internal frequency is compatible.
So desire comes to you. That completely flips the script.
It's a complete fundamental reversal of the dominant logic we've been trained in. In the 3D paradigm, the process is starkly linear. Identify a goal, say a dream job.
Make a plan, list tasks, send resumes.
Right. Then you create an action plan, perhaps a long list of tasks, and finally you apply continuous, often strenuous effort until that target is reached. This is all predicated on the assumption that there's a real, tangible separation, a distance.
Between you and the job.
Yeah, between you and what you desire, and that this distance must be traveled step by step through sheer willpower and physical exertion.
The struggle logic again.
Exactly. However, in the 5D state of consciousness, that distance, in any absolute sense, doesn't exist. There is no true separation.
No separation.
What does exist, what truly governs manifestation, are fields of resonance, intricate patterns of frequency that, when matched between your inner state and your desired reality—
When your frequency matches the job's frequency, kind of?
In essence, yes. When those frequencies match, they literally collapse perceived time and space as perceptual barriers, bringing what is in potential into concrete manifestation in your experience.
So the matching frequency pulls it in. Does action still matter?
Good question. This is not to say that physical action disappears entirely. Instead, action ceases to be the primary engine of creation.
It's not the first step anymore.
No. It becomes a natural consequence, an intuitive unfolding that effortlessly follows from an already aligned, coherent internal state.
So you feel aligned, then the right action becomes obvious.
Precisely. The energy that might once have been scattered into frantic effort, obsessive planning, or resistance against perceived obstacles now concentrates on sustaining vibrational coherence.
Okay, vibrational coherence again. Let's unpack that a bit.
It involves your mind, your emotional body, and your energy field in a deeply integrated, harmonious way. It's less about doing and more about being.
Being in that state of alignment.
Exactly. Sustaining that feeling, that frequency.
And here's where the crucial, undeniable role of clear intention and authentic emotion comes into play. Our sources are very clear on this.
Intention and emotion. The power duo.
Right. A vague intention, something you just loosely wish for, perhaps casually thinking, oh, I'd like a new car someday, is like a weak signal broadcast into a vast, noisy ocean.
It just gets lost, no power.
It simply lacks the energetic coherence and magnetic pull to find a match in the vibrational field. It dissipates. But when your intention is precise, crystal clear, vividly imagined.
You know exactly what you want.
Yes. And most importantly, infused with authentic feeling, not just intellectual desire, but a felt sense of having it. Now it generates an incredibly coherent, powerful pattern.
Feeling it like it's already happened.
That's the key. This is where, for many, the magic truly happens. The fusion of a sharp mental intention and a deeply felt emotion creates the magnetism capable of reorganizing probabilities and drawing the desired scenario toward you.
Mental clarity plus emotional energy equals magnetism.
You got it. It's not just thinking about something, it's feeling it as if it's already real, living from that state of already having achieved it.
Like embodying the result now.
Exactly. This connects directly to ancient spiritual principles found across many traditions and is powerfully articulated by modern interpreters like Neville Goddard.
Ah, Neville. Yes. Feeling is the secret.
Precisely. His profound thesis that feeling is the secret converges with the fifth-dimensional experience by feeling the desired reality as if it is already real.
You assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled.
You aren't just imagining it. You are embodying the emotional state of already having it right here, right now, in your nervous system and your energetic field.
That's a much deeper practice than just positive thinking.
Much deeper. Let's use some illustrative contrasts from our sources to make this incredibly concrete for you, the listener, because it truly changes everything about how you approach your goals.
Okay, examples are good.
Think about the old 3D paradigm when you're looking for a new job. You're sending resumes to dozens of companies, tirelessly networking, anxiously waiting for a reply,
Feeling the stress, the pressure.
feeling the weight and stress of the job search on your shoulders. In the 5D approach, that anxiety is replaced by an internal state of already being employed, of already having and embodying the feelings associated with that ideal job.
The satisfaction, the purpose, the income.
Yes, the satisfaction, the challenge, the financial freedom, and what happens then? The job often finds you through an unexpected contact or an improbable situation that feels utterly orchestrated.
Like it just lands in your lap.
Almost too good to be true. It's a fundamental reversal of the typical chase. Or consider searching for a home.
Mm.
In 3D, you might visit countless properties for months, tirelessly looking,
Getting discouraged, dealing with bidding wars.
feeling the pressure, the frustration of the market. In 5D, you shift your focus from the external search to an internal state of deeply feeling the comfort, the joy, the peace of already living in your ideal space.
Picturing it, feeling the atmosphere.
Picturing the details, smelling the air, feeling the texture of the walls. And then surprisingly, the opportunity appears after you've stopped the active, anxious search.
An off-market deal, a friend calls.
Perhaps an off-market deal, a forgotten listing, or a friend knows a friend.
This difference isn't coincidence or mere luck. It's the direct, measurable consequence of operating as a coherent magnetic field.
Where your inner state dictates your outer reality.
Exactly. It's the universe responding to the signal you are broadcasting.
This profound shift leads us to perhaps the most uncomfortable yet absolutely essential aspect for those beginning this transition.
Uh-oh. The uncomfortable part.
Yeah, maybe a little. It's the complete release of control over the how.
Letting go of how it happens, that is hard.
It really is. The 3D conditioned mind, with its linear logic and desire for certainty, insists on controlling every single step, every detail of how your desires will manifest. It wants a bullet point plan, a guaranteed path. We want the roadmap. We do. But in the 5D model, the how is no longer your responsibility. This concept can be deeply unsettling because it challenges a lifetime of conditioning.
Trusting the process, basically.
Exactly. In 5D, the vibrational field of the universe functions through radical self-organization. When you maintain your coherent frequency, this intelligent field adjusts countless variables, connects people, rearranges circumstances.
It does the heavy lifting behind the scenes.
It orchestrates events around your dominant vibration. It's like placing an order with a cosmic Amazon and then trusting that the delivery mechanism is far more sophisticated than you could ever conceive.
That requires a lot of trust. It absolutely demands letting go of compulsive control and cultivating a deep, abiding trust in an invisible, intelligent mechanism.
Okay, but this isn't just sitting back and doing nothing, right?
Not at all. From a neurophysiological standpoint, this isn't about passivity or being lazy or just wishing. When your brain is in coherence with your heart, a state measurable by technologies like EEG and ECG.
Heart math talks about this a lot.
They do. Your brain produces specific, highly beneficial wave patterns, often associated with the alpha or theta states. What does this mean for you?
Calmer state. More open.
These states keep your perception open and receptive, significantly reducing internal resistance, anxiety, and the incessant chatter of the analytical mind.
Quieting the monkey mind.
Right. This isn't just about fostering insights and intuition. It fundamentally improves emotional regulation, allowing your body and mind to remain in a state of expansion and flow rather than contraction and stress.
So there's a real physical basis for this magnetism.
This heart-brain coherence is not an abstract concept. It's a measurable physiological condition that translates directly into profound personal magnetism and creative power.
And when that coherence is sustained.
Consistently, yes. Space-time barriers seem to dissolve. Events that in linear 3D logic would take months or even years to unfold can happen in days or even hours.
Time collapse. That sounds amazing.
It's not about physical laws being broken. Rather, it's about physical reality responding to subtler, more fundamental instructions, those issued directly and powerfully from your aligned field of consciousness.
Responding to your frequency.
This is why the concept of attraction in 5D is so profoundly different from superficial interpretations of the law of attraction. It's about maintaining a vibrational state that already incorporates the desired result as present, here and now.
Allowing the universe to fill in the how.
Exactly.
What's truly exciting and deeply validating is that for many of you listening, the signs of this transition are already tangible in your everyday lives.
People might be noticing things already.
Absolutely. Have you noticed coincidences multiplying to the point of defying all statistical probability? Perhaps you're experiencing meaningful encounters happening at what feels like the perfect synchronistic moment.
Like the universe is winking at you.
Right. Or a persistent, almost undeniable sense that something invisible, intelligent, and benevolent is coordinating events with astonishing precision around you. These aren't just random occurrences or quirks of luck.
They're signs of realignment.
Our sources strongly suggest they are powerful symptoms of this vibrational realignment that has already begun, often unconsciously, within you.
What about physical signs?
Beyond the external, there are often subtle yet significant physical changes. You might experience a heightened sensitivity to environments and people.
Feeling drained in crowds, maybe.
Suddenly feeling overwhelmed or drained in crowded places you once tolerated, or intuitively sensing dissonance or falsehood in someone's words, even if they're saying all the right things.
Your BS detector gets stronger.
Pretty much. There can also be a periodic, almost irresistible need for isolation. A quiet time for rebalancing and recalibration where you just need to retreat to process and integrate.
Needing more alone time.
Yes. And perhaps one of the most significant indicators is a profound inner shift that makes it hard, almost impossible, to comfortably sustain old conversations, old habits, or old ways of being.
Things just don't resonate anymore.
Things that once deeply interested you, people you used to connect with effortlessly, simply don't resonate anymore. It's as if your internal frequency dial has moved and old stations just sound like static.
So you naturally drift away from things?
All of these are powerful, tangible indicators that a fundamental change in your vibrational pattern is underway, moving you into a new layer of reality.
And this isn't merely mystical speculation or New Age philosophy, right? Science is catching up.
That's a great point. Modern science itself is beginning to acknowledge aspects of this with what our sources aptly call cracks in the conventional understanding of reality.
Cracks in the old model.
Studies, for example, by the HeartMath Institute delved extensively into heart coherence, exploring how the coherent, rhythmic activity of the heart, which generates an electromagnetic field significantly stronger than the brain's.
The heart field is huge.
Huge. And how it can be profoundly influenced by emotional states. And more importantly, how this field can then interact with and even influence the environment and other living beings around us.
It's measurable interaction.
It is. We also see it in cutting-edge research on neuroplasticity, the brain's astonishing ability to reorganize itself.
Challenging the old fixed brain idea.
Exactly. And while quantum physics is often misinterpreted, it does undeniably acknowledge that at the subatomic level, the act of observation itself influences the behavior of particles.
The observer effect.
Right. While these findings aren't definitive proof of higher dimensions, they certainly weaken the old narrative that consciousness is just a byproduct of the physical brain.
Opens the door for something more.
It does. And what's truly fascinating here is that this emerging scientific understanding is deeply rooted in ancient wisdom traditions.
It's not actually new, is it?
Not at all. Vedic texts describe lokas, interpenetrating planes or dimensions. Hermetic schools spoke of subtle and dense planes coexisting. Christian mystics interpreted the many mansions.
This is states of consciousness, not physical places.
Exactly. And Neville Goddard consistently insisted that we do not go anywhere, we simply enter states.
Changing the inner state changes the outer world.
For him, every scenario, every person, every circumstance is a direct projection of your internal state. Alter that state, and the external scene must alter.
It's a profound responsibility, then.
It is. It's important to understand that this isn't just an individual shift. Our sources speak powerfully of a planetary shift and collective awakening, often called ascension.
But not escaping the world.
Crucially, no.
Yeah.
It's not about escaping the world. It's about an individual and collective vibrational realignment that affects everything on Earth. Your physical body, for instance.
How does the body react?
It's an exquisite biospiritual instrument, and it must adjust. Many people report heightened sensitivity to sounds, lights, emotional fields, feeling energies more acutely.
Changes in sleep, diet?
Yes, noticeable changes in sleep patterns, shifts in diet preferences towards lighter foods, sudden alterations in interests and values. Old pursuits just lose their appeal.
Biological systems responding to the new energy.
Exactly. These are intelligent responses to a different energetic pattern. And it's not just us. The Earth itself is undergoing a vibrational elevation.
The Schumann resonance.
Some alternative researchers correlate significant spikes in the Schumann resonance, the planet's pulse, with collective expansions of consciousness, suggesting a systemic recalibration.
The whole ecosystem shifting frequency.
Yeah, the macro mirroring the micro.
During this profound and often intense process, challenges don't simply vanish, do they?
Not at all. On the contrary, they take on a new role. They'll become powerful catalysts for growth. What was once perceived as an obstacle in 3D, a solid wall.
In 5D becomes a doorway.
It is a door. These challenges are opportunities for deeper integration. Passing through requires a profound dissolution of attachment to drama, to the victim narrative.
Letting go of blame.
Letting go of external blame. This is perhaps one of the most destabilizing, yet ultimately liberating aspects. The stark realization that blame lies not with others or circumstances.
But with the internal state that attracted them.
Exactly. It demands radical self-responsibility. Again, Neville Goddard is direct. Changing the world means changing yourself and nothing else.
Your inner world is the only place of true creative power.
Understanding these principles prepares the ground for consciously operating in 5D, not by abandoning daily life, but by transforming it from within. Every experience is a mirror.
Reflecting something inside you that needs attention.
Precisely. Healing, expansion, they're all prompted from within. And when you consistently start to operate from this higher frequency, the profound transformations in your practical lived experience become unmistakable. Let's talk specifics.
Okay, what does it feel like day to day?
First, there's an undeniable energetic system restructuring. This isn't just subjective. It produces concrete effects. It's like every cell receives an update command.
Releasing old data, old traumas.
Actively releasing old data, old belief systems, stagnant energy incompatible with a new vibration. Traumas, stresses, even ancestral patterns surface to be dissolved.
That can be intense, I imagine.
It can lead to an acceleration of emotional cycles. What once took years might resolve in weeks or days. Deep crying followed by lightness. Sudden anger that clears quickly.
Faster processing.
Yes. This internal clearing then exposes a second key aspect, an increased vibrational sensitivity. Suddenly becomes almost impossible to ignore the density of certain environments.
Or the dissonance in someone's words.
Your perception penetrates the surface. You pick up true intentions, the energy of a space, hidden emotions. It's like reading energy fields.
A natural capacity awakening.
But this heightened sensitivity demands acute discernment and constant energetic hygiene. Exposure to misaligned energies can drain you.
So boundaries become crucial.
Consciously setting boundaries, creating sacred spaces, regular energy clearing meditation, nature, salt baths, essential. With this heightened perception, your relationships inevitably undergo a profound, often challenging realignment.
It sounds like a big one.
It is. The 5D exposure dissolves social masks and superficial interactions. Dynamics based on manipulation, dependence, codependency. They just become intolerable.
Playing roles gets exhausting.
Holding on to a false role, playing small, engaging in draining conversations becomes energetically exhausting, like trying to wear a shoe that's 3 sizes too small.
So people naturally drift apart.
Many people naturally drift away from old friends, family partners, not necessarily due to conflict, but because the frequencies no longer match. The connection feels forced or dull.
And you can't really save anyone else's process.
And here emerges a truly liberating understanding. You cannot save anyone. Each person chooses at the soul level the experiences they will go through. Interfering wastes your energy and can delay their growth.
Replacing fixing with compassion and respect for their journey.
Exactly. Love expresses as presence, not compulsion. This resonates profoundly with Neville Goddard's view that the other is always you projected.
The mirror analogy again.
Trying to change someone else without changing yourself is like moving the reflection. Raise your own frequency, and you naturally attract those who reflect that new state.
While others naturally fade out. Makes sense.
The fourth notable aspect is the powerful transformation of the emotional body. As old patterns clear, your emotional body stops reacting impulsively.
Less reactivity, more stability.
Doesn't mean emotionless. It means stability and emotional mastery become your new default. Intense emotions still arise, but they dissipate quickly because they don't have old wounds to cling to.
Inner peace becomes the baseline.
Inner peace becomes the predominant state, a steady undercurrent. Decisions are made from clarity, intuition, inner knowing, not fear or overanalysis. Less reactive, more responsive.
Another crucial development is the profound repositioning into the role of conscious observer.
Stepping back from the drama.
Instead of being pulled into 3D drama and reactivity, your consciousness naturally creates an inner space, a deliberate pause between stimulus and response.
That pause is where the magic happens.
That sacred inner distance is precisely where your higher consciousness can step in, illuminating choices otherwise missed. The ability to observe without judgment, act without being contaminated by the problem's energy.
That's a fundamental turning point.
It prevents your attention being hijacked by conflict or fear, and crucially, it keeps your vibrational field stable and coherent, essential for staying anchored in 5D.
So you become more discerning about where your energy goes.
This observer stance drastically affects your field of action. You see that certain urgencies are often distractions. You protect your field rigorously, choosing carefully where to invest energy.
And that leads to external changes.
Inevitably. Deep internal alignment leads to natural, synchronistic changes in career, social circles, even location, as you intuitively align with supportive environments and relationships. The final point that beautifully links all these together is the cascading effect of internal coherence.
Okay, how does that work?
Each internal vibrational adjustment produces corresponding external rearrangements that often seem to defy probability. Chance meetings, solving problems, opportunities appearing.
Situations unlocking automatically.
Exactly. In 3D, we call it coincidence or luck. In 5D, it's simply the natural mechanics of an aligned field responding to its internal configuration.
The inner state and outer manifestation become inseparable.
It becomes impossible to truly separate them. In 5D, there is literally no real boundary between what you feel and hold in consciousness and what you live externally. Life echoes your frequency.
A verifiable observation, not just belief.
Repeatedly verifiable for those who sustain the state. These aspects, restructuring, sensitivity, relationship shifts, emotional stability, observer stance, coherence, are interconnected expressions of ascension.
Understanding them helps navigate the transition.
Recognizing them is essential so you don't mistake challenging symptoms for problems. Each represents the release of what no longer resonates, making room for 5D consciousness.
Once you truly understand the mechanics and science, the big question is, how does this really change everyday life, practically?
Right, the rubber meets the road. Our sources show the impact permeates everything: decisions, behaviors, priorities.
Reorganizing life from the inside out.
One clear development is the rise of the conscious observer's role. In 3D, the tendency is to react, let externals dictate your internal state, pulling you into fear or frustration.
The default reaction mode.
In 5D, the process reverses. You actively create inner space between stimulus and response. A pause. A strategic territory.
Where higher consciousness steps in.
Within that space, drama loses its grip. Clarity, wisdom, intuition take over. It's not about controlling externals, but allowing your response to emerge from stability, peace, alignment.
And this observation is active.
It's an active stance of vigilant vibrational monitoring. You learn to detect instantly when you drift out of alignment, when a thought or emotion pulls you off course.
And you intervene consciously.
Proactively, before the disturbance grows and manifests externally. This energetic proactivity is a game changer. In 3D, people react late, fixing external effects.
In 5D, you act at the source, adjusting the internal field first.
Exactly, before it becomes an external problem. This profound alignment naturally demands radical choices. As you become more sensitive, you realize not every energy deserves access to your field.
The filter becomes vibrational, not just rational.
It's not about liking or disliking, it's recognizing with clarity whether a frequency, a conversation, person, environment, media nourishes your state or drains and contaminates it.
That must lead to big life changes.
This conscious selection often provokes deep changes in social circles, partnerships, even location, walking away from environments or relationships that felt unavoidable.
But also attracting aligned connections.
Yes, it creates the opportunity to attract and create networks that amplify your desired state. This filtering isn't isolation. It creates space for genuine, high-frequency connections.
Protecting your coherence.
By rigorously protecting your field, you avoid contamination by patterns that do not correspond to your intended state, preserving internal coherence, the most valuable resource of 10th-dimensional life.
And maintaining that coherence has knock-on effects.
When coherence is maintained consistently, small decisions from alignment generate disproportionate, often miraculous results, shaping reality with more precision and ease than any 3D plan.
Another inevitable development is prioritizing the energetic body. Non-negotiable.
More than just physical health.
Consciously integrating practices that sustain physical vitality and reinforce vibrational stability. Not blindly following trends, but cultivating an intimate, intuitive relationship with your own energy system.
Learning how to manage your own energy.
Learning how to recharge, how to clear external influences, how to consciously expand your field when needed. It becomes as natural as physical hygiene.
Like energetic self-care.
This solid foundation prepares the ground for deeper expansion, accessing more of your multidimensional self.
When you anchor consistently in 5D, consciousness naturally accesses subtler layers, 6th, 7th dimensions, some call them.
What happens then?
At this stage, the separation between thought, word, and manifestation narrows significantly. Speech gains immediate creative weight.
Words become instantly powerful.
Statements charged with clarity, certainty, and deep conviction begin to generate perceptible effects without the usual delay characteristic of 3D. It's the natural functioning of an unobstructed, aligned field.
And the old self starts to fade.
In this process, the old mind conditioning, fears, rigid identities truly begins to dissolve. It can feel surreal. Looking at old photos or memories feels like another lifetime.
Mental clarity increases.
Exponentially, illusions become transparent. What was normal reveals itself as a construct. The impulse to live by old narratives disappears, replaced by authentic inner knowing.
Leading to inner peace.
The consequence is a growing state of pervasive lightness and inner spaciousness. A stable, profound calm becomes the backdrop. Resistance to the present drops.
Acceptance, not resignation.
Circumstances that triggered anxiety are now received as part of a larger flow. Acceptance isn't resignation. It's choosing to stop fighting what is, redirecting energy to create what's potential.
And these deeply personal shifts have collective implications, rippling outwards.
Profound and undeniable. Our sources state that a critical mass of people operating from the vibrational coherence of 5D inevitably alters the collective field of humanity,
Affecting social, economic, political systems.
directly impacting systems that depend on scarcity, fear, and reactivity. They resist, but their functioning becomes increasingly unstable as more people stop feeding them energetically.
So change happens by withdrawing energy, not just fighting externally.
It's withdrawing energetic consent, allowing them to naturally lose power. A fundamental shift in the collective fabric driven by individual consciousness. Imagine a world less gripped by fear. However, it's crucial to acknowledge that this transition, this ascension, is not uniform. Everyone's path is different.
Right, no comparing journeys.
Each person experiences it according to their unique ascension program, shaped by soul-level choices preceding this life. Comparing timelines or trying to force stages only creates frustration.
Focus on your own path.
True progress lies in recognizing signs on your own path and diligently deepening internal alignment without measuring yourself against others. It's personal, tailored to your soul's blueprint.
Ultimately, all these developments translate into a truly radical shift of power.
From external to internal.
The command center is no longer out there. Not in circumstances, institutions, opinions, expectations. No, the command center is now unequivocally within.
Life becomes creation, not reaction.
Life stops being an exhausting reaction and transforms into a conscious, deliberate creative act. Every thought, emotion, action becomes a deliberate choice, not an automatic response.
That's the threshold.
This profound shift marks the thrilling threshold between merely observing the change and fully embracing 5D as a permanent, embodied condition of existence, a living reality you continually co-create.
After exploring all this fundamentals, mechanism, implications, signs, it's clear this transition isn't hypothetical or future. It's active now.
Already underway.
And it doesn't depend on your belief to exist. What determines its intensity and speed for each person is only the degree of awareness they choose to live it with and the consistency of their alignment.
No waiting for the perfect time.
This dismantles that common excuse, waiting until conditions are perfect, or you have more time, or feel ready. The powerful, undeniable moment is always now.
Postponing is choosing to stay oscillating.
Exactly. Deciding to remain oscillating between 3D limits and 5D possibilities. All sources converge. Your reality is meticulously shaped by your vibrational states. Not an exception, but a fundamental law.
The difference is perceiving and applying that law consciously.
The difference between 3D and 5D is the clarity with which this law is perceived, understood, and applied daily. To live truly in 5D is to accept fully that every external event is the consequence of an internal configuration.
No shortcuts to changing the scene without adjusting the source.
No shortcuts to changing the scenery without adjusting the source within yourself.
This recognition directly confronts and dismantles the 3D logic of effort and external control being primary.
5D relegates them to final extensions.
The logic of 5D powerfully relegates physical effort and control to the role of final extensions, outward expressions of something that began in the vibrational field.
Which requires courage.
It requires more than understanding. It demands the courageous willingness to consciously sustain internal states, feelings, beliefs, intentions that don't yet have visible correspondence externally.
Holding the feeling until it manifests.
Holding those desired states stable within consciousness until that unwavering alignment is effortlessly translated into form. When inner stability is reached, your relationship with everything changes.
Work, relationships, body, seen as effects, not causes.
Exactly. Recognized as reflections. This dissolves the need to chase, convince, struggle. Attention shifts naturally to continuous calibration of your own field.
Which becomes the most strategic action.
The most strategic action available for shaping reality. This implies radical responsibility. No room to transfer blame. You see yourself as the powerful origin of your experience.
The inevitable question then arises, if we have these fleeting moments of clarity, synchronicity, what prevents them becoming permanent?
The million-dollar question. How do we make it stick?
The answer points to a simple yet demanding core practice. Regularly, consistently, consciously create the internal space where mental and emotional turbulence dissolves.
Allowing higher intelligence to operate without distortion.
Without interference from ego chatter or old emotions. This space is experiential, and the most direct way to cultivate it is consistent meditation.
Meditation not just for relaxation.
Not occasional relaxation, but a strategic tool for vibrational alignment. To meditate here is to actively reorganize your internal field, fine-tune your frequency, so thought and emotion operate in coherence.
Like tuning an orchestra.
Perfectly synchronized. It's consciously restoring the inherent magnetism that naturally draws in what already exists in potential. It's interrupting reactivity and assuming silent command of creation.
The training that makes flashes the predominant state.
This is the training, the daily discipline, that truly turns fleeting connections into an unwavering state, allowing the 5D frequency to become the fixed, unshakable base of your daily experience.
So as we bring this deep dive to a close, the key takeaway is crystal clear and profoundly empowering. Your reality isn't fixed or external.
It's a reflection.
It's a direct, vibrant reflection of your internal vibrational state, a mirror of your inner frequency. And the shift to 5D isn't about moving somewhere else.
It's about consciously aligning that frequency.
Moving from a reactive existence to a powerfully creative one where you consciously shape your world from within.
And as you ponder all of this, as you integrate these insights, consider this final thought, this ultimate question. The choice is always in every moment in the frequency you decide to sustain.
That's powerful.
And it is that choice, maintained consistently, that transforms knowledge into lived reality. What frequency are you broadcasting right now?
Right, this very moment.
And what might you consciously choose to sustain, starting today, to truly transform your experience?